Hello everyone. I got cut off in the last video when I tried to explain the wheat and the oil. Okay, y'all are looking at a message that I'm about to read. Y'all are looking at the pattern of the times. I was instructed each day that the time was to be reduced by 7.5 minutes, which in fact, if I can get close here, as y'all can see, this is the start time of day one. Okay, he gave me 30 minutes to eat, which in a 24-hour period, I only have 3 hours of eating, which is divided into 6. Now, we come about this because of this right here. God told me that I am gluttonous. Now, I weigh 120 pounds. You wouldn't think that I was gluttonous. God said that addiction was gluttonous and that man just changed it into a disease to make sin okay. Alright, now that being said, my gluttonous is I go about my day and I forget to eat. And when I do eat, my gluttonous is the way and the manner in which I eat. I starve myself and then I lap it up like a dog. I get full. So that is where my gluttonous comes from. It's not what we do, it's how we feel and how we do it that the Lord comes to us. Okay, so I'm just going to start up here from the front because this is the message. Okay, he told me that I would not understand the Father's way in this, that I would just have to trust him. So I started doing so. All right. The Lord instructs me time of fasting. Oh, let's see. The light might be in the way. Time of fasting, wheat and water for battle and famine. Okay. The first will come last. God rested on the 7th day. That's supposed to be 7th, not 6th. I just caught that. Message for the army. Isaiah 22 has called Matthew 22 to the line. I have been given warning and trying to gather y'all for quite some time. If y'all look back at all my social media, you'll find it under Lulu Mercer and Mary Mercer. Mary is my birth-given name, and Lulu, God said, was my new name in the Book of Life. Okay, so the mystery revealed. Purpose of fasting 7 days before the first of 3 prophecy eclipse in 2019. Okay. In April, so we've got January, February, and March. And in April, I turned 40 in the middle of the Passover, which is pretty cool. Okay. Now, the pattern of time fell in increments. And these are the increments within the 6 times that we have. This right here, I'm upside down. Let me pull this out to get the glare off of it. I am so sorry, y'all. And again, my battery is low. I just wasn't meant to be doing these. Okay. The increments of time defined by Hebrew text, 6 meals in 7 days, 7 times the Lord repeats this. Okay, so every meal, every day that I eat, I am pretty much saying this. All right, meal 1 to 2 is 2 hours and 45 minutes, and 2:45 also comes from 2:38 and 3:50 of the Hebrew numerical text. And it means, heard by Yah. To expand, broaden the ear, listen, hearken, the Lord most vehement. Meal 3 to 4, I have been eating for Adamai, which is Adam. Soul, redness, country, earth, ground, husband, and land. Okay. I've been given the message that the U.S. government cannot be trusted. They are about to do something against their people. The U.S. military is not God's front line. The police, the firefighters, the doctors, the nurses, the EMT, they are all God's front line. When the battle starts, that's who you trust. Okay, so the next increment between meals 3 and 4 is 3 hours and 13 minutes. And these are the following that comes from it. After, following, different. Which everything that I said, everybody's telling me is different. But God's telling me that it's going back to the original where man added in. He was just taking everything out in me. Okay, so men hinder next. All right, and the 3 hour and 13, the 313 number comes from Genesis 7:21. It originated, and it speaks, "But my covenant I will establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear at this time next year." January the 15th through 21st of 2020. All right, that's next year. So let's see what happens. Everybody keep that date in mind. This is a warning. God said, Jesus said, "Do not let me come upon you as a thief in the night," which means we get warning, but if you're not ready and sleeping, he comes upon you as a thief in the night. All right, so it returns back to Adam, the soul, the redness, country, earth, ground, husband, and land. And then the last meal, that should be from 5 to 6. Boy, did I mess up a lot. Is heard by Yah, to expand, broaden the ear, listen, hearken, the Lord most vehement. Okay, what I'm fixing to show you on the opposite side, remember the number 6 is of man, 8 is of Christ, 8 is also August. Remember that. Okay. The number 1 is of Alpha. 0 is the Omega. It is all the beginning and the end. Okay. Y'all remember that, because that's very important in the pattern y'all are fixing to see. 9 is a division changer of God. Okay. And 8 is the number of Christ. 10 is prophetic. And the number 5, which is half of 10, is the image, man and woman. So you got 5 and 5, you got man and woman, you get the image of God. All right. 3 is the number of heaven, the spirit, because 3 testify on earth and heaven, which is spirit, water, and blood. Okay. Those numbers fall in pattern. Let me see if I can get this close to the light where we can get plenty to see. Okay. The first day, we have a crossover of 6, the number of man. See all the 6s that come up? The beginning and the end. The first will come last, and the last will come first. Okay, that was pretty cool. Now the second meal starts at 9, the division changer. All right, you got Christ, man, Christ, and then 1 is the Alpha. So you got man, Christ, God. All right. Division changer, Christ, man, Christ, God. Man, Christ, God. Division changer, Christ. I thought that was pretty cool. Okay, so over here you got 666. You got 666. And even these numbers right here end in God, Christ, man, Christ, God. Okay, I see the whole universe in this. All right, you've got on the third meal, which third is the 3 that testifies. God, God, God. God, God, God. Half a prophecy. 2 being the image, 1 in 1. Man and woman, 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 being the full image of God in the flesh. You got the omega, the 0. Same patterns fall out. Okay. The 333 and the 318, you have the Spirit, God, and Christ. You have the Spirit, and the Spirit. And this stepped out at me because Jeremiah 33:3 is, call upon me, says the Lord, and I'll show you things that you did not know. Which is pretty cool. And then you come over here to the 5th meal. And you've got the 5 and 5, the 3 and the 6, the Spirit and the man. You got man and woman, Spirit and flesh. Okay, they say 6 is the number of man, but it's actually the number of flesh. Kind of like 2. Flesh and sin, and 2 is flesh and God. And then you've got Christ, Christ, Christ. Man, Christ, God. Man, Christ, God. Okay, on the 7th day, the day of the eclipse on the 21st, it starts like an hour and 15 minutes before. It begins at 9:45, and it ends like almost at 12 or 11 something. Okay, so what I did, okay, the day and time compared to Hebrew text. All right, so whenever I got the time here, I come down here. So 636 means tree. All right. And then like the 906, these are just the beginning times. This isn't the 30-minute and the end times that I'm fixing to read y'all. Okay, day 1. A tree. Now, this is what I have been fasting for. This is what God said I would not, that the Lord said that I would not understand the Father's way of why he needed this way. But after this message, it makes perfect sense because I am here to gather an army. And I have been for the past few years, but the sleepers won't wake up. Okay, so maybe this will wake y'all up. Isaiah 22 has called Matthew 22 to the line. All right. Day 1. A tree. Dual. You remember what I said about number 5? Being the image, 5 and 5. A tree is a cross. 4-fold. God told me that it required 2 women and 2 men. I know the other 3, and they're right here with me. Sense of divided. America's already divided, and then Christ come to set a division. The linen garments. It speaks about us wearing them in Revelations. Despise. Revelations 12. And the dragon threw water upon the earth to chase after those who kept the testimony. Despise earthly gold. Father of might. Now, y'all remember, this is all the numbers of the times that he gave me that I can eat minus 7.5 minutes from there to there. Okay? Strength, strong, a heron, a wall. Trump's trying to build a shut up incorporation. So we're on the move. Maybe I ruined and everybody else. Okay, sorry about that. All right, to be mute, and family because of what the government has agreed behind closed doors. All right, and nations. This is the whole kingdom. This is the New Jerusalem. This is Christ's kingdom. To be alert, wake up, strengthen, courage, harden, sharpen, fortify, a step, to invent, come up with a plan. All right? They will not care what religion you are. They are coming to take away our Constitution according to God. Trump did not realize this, did not know it when he agreed to it. Day 3. Okay? Day 3. Alpha, Omega. God, image of God. God, half the image, man and woman, the Omega and the Alpha, and it reverse. All right, back down here to day 3. Wife of Joseph, meadow of Beth Mecca, which I think he's trying to say Mecca over there for Islam. To set as the sun, very dark. This is the 3 days of darkness, okay? To set as the sun. He told me the sun was about to come up in the west, which actually fulfills the word of Muhammad in the Ummah when the kingdom of Isaac is gone and the blessing to Ishmael is fulfilled. So all the left behind has to deal with the Muslims ruling, which is going back to God. All right? Obedience, to scatter, a son, fear, trouble. The last one, chaste, thou must not destroy. Surely, indeed, weighing, treacherous. Okay, number 4, imprisonment, pavilion, which is a covering. Descendant of Ashur, which is a Muslim, which actually a Muslim just turned Christian as a chiropractor, turned me in. He said, well, you have a purpose here. And I said, I know, I'm wearing it. So obviously he does not understand the whole Christ and miracle of God thing. Plummet, which means to fall. All right. Son of hero, over against, follow afterwards, to hate, God act. Gathering, spot, old enmity self. So he just pretty much treated me like my old self, which, you know, I've never changed other than my habits. Okay, my faith, my spirit, everything has never changed. Okay, 5, a man, a tree, happy. So that's us and Christ, happy. Divided linen, the wheat from the chaff. Fully, earthly, a gem. And what do we get gems on? Our crowns. Father of might, God is going up. In November the 21st, 2015, I posted what God had me to do and said that I was letting him back in. Okay, he said, what kind of father would he be to give his son the whole kingdom and not be here to see his face? Okay, now I have been passed on from God to Christ, and I feel him here. Christ both is in this earth. I am witness of it. God is going up. So for God and Christ to be here, which means the current heaven happens when it's on fire, the bowls of wrath are poured out, and it burns current heaven. Okay? All the 8 distant. We bear his cross, they bear their own cross. Isaac and Ishmael. Isaac here, a messenger or a pillar, God of him, comes and speaks of God. Hello, that's me. A collection of persons, yes, it repeated. Community, nations, of foundation. Christ was the chief cornerstone. Going, faithful, son of David, wife of Joseph. Yes, I claim to be the wife of Christ as the Bible spoke. That's why I wear my whites. A night watchman. Yes, I am. I am a witness and a pillar, and I have been sounding the alarm for the past 5 years. Obedience, a gulp. The pure white cup of Islam and the cup of Christ. Any sacrifice is the Jews still killing. The way in place is the church. We are to hold off until further instruction. Okay? The increment of the fasting of the wheat and water, the dividing of the wheat and chaff, and the drink of the Spirit and the bride in Revelations 22:17. Okay? The increments. heard by Yah, expand, hearken the ear, listen, hearken, the Lord most vehement. All right, a lot is about to happen. The only thing that is to move right now is Syria. And my spirit is crawling. Look, if I could show y'all my skin. Look. Y'all see how everything? Syria is the only one that is to move at this moment. Everyone else is to stand still. Alright? This is what I have been fasting the wheat and the water for the past 6 days, which ends on the 7th of the eclipse. Alright, so for the UK, Sweden, y'all continue to do what God said to do, what He gave you authority to do. The army of Matthew 22 has yet to gather. You do not have your instructions yet. Your instructions are to move when the Mississippi River becomes the new sea. We are to gather. All right? And it fell in place that this time next year, okay, that was the number 3 meal that fell all on the number of God. All right, now y'all notice, on the 4th day, there is no crossover, none whatsoever. There is 12 meals right there that God took for Himself and Himself alone in the middle of the day. All right, this is for the kingdom. I don't know what this date is, but it's important because it says, for my covenant I will establish. And in Revelations, it said, don't let come as a thief of the night. Okay? Now, Sarah, the Quran, the Surah, was given because of Sarah. She bore Ishmael on her knees. She bore war and hate. All right? The Quran is a judgment of the wrath, and the Bible is the blessing that you get when you accept. The Quran is a judgment of the wrath of the disbelievers. It is the bearing of their cross. Jesus is the way to see the Father. If you want to see the Father's face, you got to go through Jesus. Okay, so all you that bear your own cross, you are more tedious, you are held against more judgment. You have to watch what you say, what you do, how you treat others, how you walk, how you dress, which everybody should watch the way they dress. Okay, especially you women. Now, I've done things before God because the Christian women was taught wrong. You holding out your booty and your breast, y'all got a lot of sack of judgment on you, a lot. Cover yourself up. Cover yourself up. But y'all get ready. The husband is here. And we're about to fight for the land, the ground which we come from, the earth in which we eat and breathe, and the country in which we have freedom. The redness, blood is about to happen. It is about to spill into the soil. All right, and then back over here, boundary of blood, be mute, gather up. He said the lights was going to go out for 2 weeks. When the lights went out in America, then the lights would go out shortly in the world for 3 days. And then from what was about to happen, the EMP will go off so close to CERN that it's going to snap our poles. And it's like the magnetics that you put together and they push apart. The magnet's going to have to fill in. And that's going to develop the earthquake, the volcanoes. We're going to go into a nuclear freeze. When they do this, boy, oh boy. He said CERN already has us electrically charged. That is the phenomenons. And if you gather all the evidence from the Ring of Fire from the past 2 years, you will see what is about to happen. Man will destroy man. All right, Trump is trying to reset us. This government shutdown is no coincidence. It's his plan. This is what he is doing against us. This is the meetings that he is having behind closed doors, according to God. He thinks he's some kind of prophecy. He is. God told me that he was the rider on the white horse on earth like Jesus was in heaven, that the White House was a beacon of light without living waters. How do I stop this? Because I'm done. I'm stuck.